Hello, parents. Welcome to the Masterful Parenting Podcast. I have Jessie Emmy here back for a second show. I'm so excited. We're going to talk. Last time we talked about self-love, and Jessie shared her journey, her bit of her childhood, and how she had come out of a toxic relationship and her struggles, as a single mom of two. And we talked a lot about how do we get out of that and how do we start to love ourselves again. So,
Mhm.
um, so welcome, Jessie. Great to see you.
Hi everyone.
All right, let's get into it. So where do you think this lack of self-love comes from?
Yeah, well, we haven't been taught in our childhood, and we haven't received this that we would really feel love, that we would really understand and feel and have this inside of us. Our parents had the programs, the patterns, how they grew up. So it's really most common that we didn't have this, in our early and also after, many experiences. We had many experiences when we were growing up, many negative experiences, and this then naturally automatically causes, that we start to close our hearts, and also even if we got, this love when we were little, we tend to close our hearts when we grow up, and this is then, we need to learn then back again how to open our hearts, how to trust again, how to what this actually means, in our everyday life towards other people, to ourselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like if our parents didn't love themselves, then we didn't learn to love
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if your parents were maybe they were broken. Maybe they didn't have love that they needed. And so then they couldn't show you how to have
Mm-hmm.
love and how to love yourself, right? Because I
Yes.
do feel like our parents are the role models for us. And
Mm-hmm.
if they are living lives where they're not in their purpose and loving themselves, then their children don't know how to love themselves. It's the same with self-care, right? Like if you're a parent that doesn't practice self-care, then your kids don't learn self-care, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so it's something we have to change if we want our children to love themselves and to take care of themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it goes exactly like this, when we were children, our children as well, we were just they are just absorbing everything from their parents, you cannot show them, give them what it means, to actually love yourself, how this looks like, what you are doing when you really love yourself, because a lot of people don't actually, even understand what this means, that you
yeah,
really feel this inside of yourself. Because when you start to love yourself, and of course then, it goes, you work on it more and more, you are growing this inside of yourself, but
yeah,
you make totally different choices, you make totally different decisions, it directly impacts what you are allowing into your life, what you are not allowing anymore,
mhm,
um, but what, regarding to mindset, and what I would like to share, to ladies here, to moms, to women,
yeah,
is how to actually come to this, place. Why it's important to work on yourself, on your mindset, on changing your inner world, transforming, changing your inner patterns,
yeah,
um, because you cannot just read about this, you can read books, many, mostly, many times, okay, I'm working some things on my personal growth, and we start to read books, we do some, I don't know, we start doing some meditation, some courses, positive affirmations, taking some time for yourself. I know many moms, and there are definitely plenty of you out there, who take, I don't know, what one time per week, 1 hour to for yourself, and you go to take some, I don't know, massage or some a walk, that you are by yourself and so
Yeah.
on. And this is all great. This is all, helping you to feel better, to have this, a little bit more energy, connecting with yourself. But
Yes.
I need to share, that this is not, this is not actually enough for creating this long-term concrete change inside of you, that you really, you because we need to change inside of ourselves. We are full of these inner programs, that are subconscious, that are automatic. It is how you behave to in your relationships, towards your children, towards yourself. All these voices that you have, that we
Yeah.
have inside of our heads, that are,
Yeah.
a lot of times bringing you down. And we are not, conscious of them. And until we start to recognize them and change what is inside of us that is not supportive, then, we can't really feel this,
Mhm.
this change, um, this really, that you love yourself, that you are satisfied in your life, that you start to behave differently, that you start to change your behaviors, your patterns,
Right.
how you connect with others, how you connect with your children, how you respond to your partner, and so on. So this is the most important thing. We need to understand how to change our inner world,
Right.
consistently,
Right.
on a daily basis, that the energy inside of us changes, really the pattern.
Right.
And this is where this change, this transformation then comes from.
Wow. As you were talking, I was thinking about myself, and
Hmm.
I was thinking about my own journey and how, like, I read a lot of books. I watched Oprah. I was like a big, like, mindset change, be positive, change the way you think, all of that
Hmm.
sort of stuff. And then I was reflecting on what you said, like how you have to change on the inside, right? Like because we have this subconscious that
Hmm.
we're not aware of.
Yeah.
And then how even though I was positive and all of that stuff, how I still attracted an unhealthy relationship.
Hmm.
So so like how do we get into that inner subconscious so that we can change that? What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely challenging and difficult to recognize your unsupportive patterns. I always say that the fastest, the most easier way, and I recommend to everyone to get yourself some teachers, some role models, some mentors, because when you can listen also, everyone who will listen to this video, to this
Yeah.
master class, and it will sound okay, this is great, yes, I also want to do this, and many women, you immediately, when you listen to something, you recognize, you see, oh, I would like to change this, I would like to feel more of this in my life, in my relationships, I'm not truly satisfied. um, I remember myself a few years back, I didn't even know what it means to be happy, I was just like, how can I be happy? It's not like, what is this? And
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
possible. Um, but there is a big difference, between listening to something, to some knowledge, but then actually putting it into your life, Um, and really understanding, okay, but what are actually my negative patterns? For many things we don't even know that it is negative.
Yeah.
For example, guilt. A lot of moms, we have this guilt, mom guilt.
Yes.
It's so present,
So prevalent. Yes.
yes.
Yes. I can
And
relate.
but yeah, And but when I talk to moms in the past, I remember, and also now, a lot of women don't even recognize that something that they are feeling is actually guilt. And you are just constantly living in this, doing things that out of guilt for your children, for your partner, and so on. But this is no good for anyone, this is
So,
doing something from negative energy, this is not
yeah,
positive energy.
yeah,
um, and so here is first, we need to understand, okay, what are our patterns that are actually negative? This is the
yeah,
first step. Then the second step is, okay, now I need to change it,
yeah,
and this doesn't come from, like I said before, from reading a book, from listening, this is actually when you are in some situation, in your daily life, you need to recognize it and change it and change it and change it, until
yes.
you
Because now you're
actually change.
changing the pattern,
Yeah,
right? Like
until
when
you
you're
change. Yeah.
aware, when you're aware, and then you recognize, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to repeat this pattern, so I'm going to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're rewiring your brain, right? You're rewiring your inside,
Yes. Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Yes.
I love
Um,
that.
Yeah, yeah, and this is where, when you do this work, you need to change the energy inside, and then instead of naturally, automatically, doing this pattern, going automatically responding from that program, I don't know, insecurity, guilt, anger, fear, whatever, we want to change. When we do this practice, this work, we then naturally feel the other emotion, this becomes more naturally for us. So this is why practice in everyday life and work on your inner world, on your mind,
Yes.
that you understand how to go through your life, through your day,
Yeah.
what you need to do regarding your mindset, your energy, it's so important. And I wanted to also, share this because it's also very different, when you if you have some role model, or you are learning from someone, this is very good because you then also see what is possible for you, for example,
Yes.
I for me it was so amazing always, and it still is, because I didn't know, for example, I was explaining last time, I didn't know how healthy relationship feel and look like, if you grow up in toxic relationships, then this is what it is, natural for you. And
Yes.
we need someone, in our life that to where we can look up to, okay, but what is possible for us, how does a supportive relationship actually look like, how does love look like,
Mhm.
how can I really feel so good in my life, that I feel motivated, excited, that I have this power inside of myself, that I can live my own life, and actually be happy and so on. So it's very good to have someone, this role model in your life, so that you can see what is possible for you,
Yeah.
um, and I
Sometimes
always,
you, yeah.
yeah,
I was just going to say, sometimes you need someone to show you because you don't see it, right?
yes, yes,
Sometimes you don't see what is actually happening, right?
yeah, yeah,
And you need someone to to help you, to question you, like why do you feel guilty all the time? What Where did that come from? How come, right?
yeah,
So you can uncover it. But I also wanted to touch on self-sacrifice
mm-hmm,
because I feel like a lot of moms they have this mentality, and I'm guilty of this as well, um, of sacrificing
mm-hmm,
for their kids, right? Like I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna get up early, I'm gonna do everything, I'm going to like um, work until I'm so exhausted, right?
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
then ignore your own needs, right? Ignoring your
Mhm.
own needs because you're sacrificing for your kids, and then feeling resentful after, like,
Yes.
oh, I did all of this for you, and you can't even be
Yeah.
thankful, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing I think happens a lot with moms, especially moms that have come from childhood pain.
Mm,
And so, like for me personally, I realized that that's actually not healthy.
mhm,
That you're not you don't want to sacrifice yourself for anybody.
mhm,
Um, if you're not feeling it, like I believe in giving and being generous with your
mhm,
time, and your efforts and loving your children like crazy,
mhm.
but not to the point that you're depleted, right?
Yes, definitely.
Because
Yeah.
you have to keep filling up your tank
Mhm,
so that you can give more.
mhm.
If you're doing things from a depleted tank, then the love isn't there. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you're doing it out of obligation, and then you feel angry because you're
Yeah.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not healthy.
Yeah.
When you have a full tank, then you're like, yes, I want to do things for people. I want to, you know what I mean? It's a different energy, right? Like
Yes.
what you
Yes.
were
Yes.
saying. It's a
Yes.
different energy when you have a full tank and you're giving,
Mm. Yes,
right?
this is exactly. I had the same experiences. I also had a lot of this program of sacrificing, but for me it was really like I wanted, to do some things to make others feel better. It was like really I wanted to. But like you said, it's just a matter of from which kind of energy you do something. This is what I have learned, because I was the same, quickly, um, like how can I say, like sucked into this loop of feeling anger afterwards, because I felt the need that I need to do it now, so definitely I was in the past I was doing this all the time for all the people, and I had no idea that it can be different. So this is why for me, having a mentor, having a coach, someone that worked uniquely, personally with me, that was able to show me, okay, but this is not good, for you. This is not positive, you need to change
Yeah,
this. This is actually not a good relationship, And
yeah,
I was like, okay, this is why I feel so tired, so burned out, so depressed,
yeah,
okay. And we
yeah. Because
started, to change this and so on. Um, but mostly I need to learn, I need to do this a lot, with my boys. So I learned, when how to set these nice boundaries, um, that I'm not sacrificing myself, that I can guide them, that I'm, of course, giving to them, that it is from this a place of love, so there is so much that we can learn and that we can do in our life, but it's
yes,
also the most amazing thing is this, when you are really clearing these negative patterns inside of you, these negative energies out of your system, removing the blocks, transforming what is unsupportive inside of you, you actually have more and more energy. You are letting go of this baggage that you have inside, you are cleansing your system, you are becoming healthier and healthier, as well.
yeah,
And you
yes,
feel you have more energy, you are lighter, and then of course you can do much more things, so it
yes,
all goes hand in hand. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, let's just touch on here about mindset. Like, how do we begin the transformation, the change in our mindset? Why is mindset so crucial to change?
Yeah, well, because everything, in our life happens from the mindset we have, from our beliefs, what we believe about life, about ourselves, about everything that is happening in our life. Everything also in our life happens to our programs, what we have inside of us. We are attracting people, situations, experiences into our life based on who we are inside, So this is why it's the most important thing we can do, that we work on building a supportive mindset, a growing, growth oriented mindset.
Mhm.
We work on changing who we are inside, these core beliefs,
Yeah,
our core, that it is becoming more and more positive,
yeah,
and this, of course, it's not, it cannot be done with, like I said before, with reading books, or with doing, 1 hour of personal growth, some tools
yeah,
that you add into your life, but it's a way of living, you
yeah,
learn through your relationships, through your situations. We need to learn how you need to learn how to how this life works, so that you can take the situation, what is showing you how you can grow through the situation, through the relationship, and so on, and do daily,
yeah,
constantly
yeah,
on, changing, improving your mindset and your energy.
exactly. Okay, let's, for the moms out there, let's just give them what's one thing that they can do to start changing the pattern? Like, can you give like one thing you do with your moms, the moms that you work with? What is one thing you say, okay, I want you to do this
Mhm.
to start the change?
Well, definitely, I would first say, we need to have clarity what we want to change, and we need to have clarity what we would like to have and see in our life. This is the most important thing, because many times, okay, we know the things that we want to change, that we don't like, but we need to also put something there, in that empty space. So we need to have clarity. We need to focus on what we want to experience in our life. What kind of relationships do we want to have? What kind of person we want to be, we can be. And that they are really curious here as well, what is possible for them, that you can be happy in your life, that you can have this energy inside of you, that it is possible for you to have a loving relationship. Many times we don't have this vision, what is actually possible for us. So here it's really, good to be curious, to be open in this direction, and explore what is possible for me. And then, of course, we need to do all the practice necessary so that we actually start to live this life, that we become this person, that we feel this way, that we bring into our experience this kind of relationships.
So like we're gonna make a roadmap, right? Like a roadmap of a vision of how we want our lives to be. So like I know for me, I have said I value peace and I want peace in my life. Like every day I want to experience peace, right? And so I'm very aware of that I'm creating peace by being peaceful myself. And then I
Mhm,
am going to have that energy of peace in my family, right?
mhm,
So I guess it's like this is like where you're getting clarity. You're getting clarity with what is it that you really truly want and value, right?
mhm,
Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's love.
mhm,
Maybe it's support, right? Because maybe you weren't supported as a child. But I think this is what you mean by clarity is like start getting clear instead of like going through the motions of life
mhm.
unconsciously or unintentionally. Um, think of what it is that you truly value and want to experience every day in your life. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yes,
Right?
absolutely, because this is very important to understand about this life. If we are not consciously, intentionally creating it, it is just, life is living us,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
are just going through, okay, this is happening, that is happening, oh, this experience was a little bit better, this was a little bit, I did not, this was terrible, but this is when we are just going through life, but when you have clarity, when you set this for yourself, okay, what kind of life do I want to have, what do I really want, this is very important. And I also encourage to all the ladies, that are listening to this, if you don't have clarity, if you have no idea what do you want, reach out, ask, someone,
Yes.
go search, that
Yes.
you come to that,
Yes.
and really this, like I said, this is very important, we are the ones who are creating our lives, so we
Yes.
need to have a direction, we need to have this, okay, what
Yes.
do I want, where I'm going towards,
Yes, for sure, for sure. And it is very possible to change patterns, the negative patterns that maybe we grew up with and maybe
Mm-hmm.
continued in some of our adult life. Like it's never too late to change those patterns. Like you can start today,
Yes,
starting to,
absolutely. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's never too late. It doesn't matter like how old you are. You you can change your life starting today. And those patterns, those things you don't want in your life anymore, you don't have to have them,
No, no,
right?
yes.
Right?
That,
That's a really good message to leave with moms, right? Is that
mm,
that you can do it. Okay, so I just want to do like I want to do a recap of what you said, Jessie, and then I want you to share like how you help moms. Okay.
mm,
So Jesse was saying like honestly we have to start from the inside out, right? And we have to recognize where those patterns are coming from. And then we have to be intentional on changing it. And Jesse was saying we got to figure out what do we want? Like what do we want? We need to get clarity because clarity will bring what you want into your life. It all starts here, right? It all starts like internally, changing the energy internally, because that is what's going to attract externally the things
mm,
that you want into your life. Um, it's never too late to change patterns. Like you and I both are changing patterns in our lives, right? What we want in our lives. And it's never too late and reach out for mentorship, reach out for support, for
mm,
coaching, because sometimes we have our blind spots and we're not aware
mm,
where it's coming from. And then we
mm,
also talked about how self-sacrifice is actually not good and not healthy for our children
mm,
because then we are giving from a depleted well and then we are resentful and not
mm,
joyful. And it's not coming from love, right? It's coming more from obligation.
mm,
Uh, but when we give to our kids, we don't want them to feel like we're doing it out of obligation or we're doing it from an empty tank.
mm,
We want our kids to feel that we're doing it from a full tank and that we truly want to help them, truly want to support them and do things for them. But
mm,
that they're not a burden in our lives, that
mm.
we're doing it out of love and joy, right? And that is
Yes.
so, so important.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, Jesse, Emily, tell us what what where can parents find you and work with you and what you can offer them.
Yeah, well, our team, Success Architects, is here to help you, that you really overcome all of the unsupportive negative patterns that you have inside, all of your limitations, that you see how powerful you are, how amazing you are, how we all are, that you start creating the life that you really want, that is the most authentic, the most joyful for you, the most fulfilling, satisfying for you.
Yes.
and in all areas. At our team, we work in this way that we believe that all areas are connected. So we help you uplift everything in your life, in your business, relationship, health, but most importantly, how you feel inside. So yes, and you can reach out with via your link,
Yes.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, if I will get all of your links on my notes, on my show
Mhm.
notes. And parents, you can access Jesse's links on the podcast notes when this airs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jesse. That was so,
Thank
so
you.
good, impactful. Thank you so much, parents, for joining today. I hope you got a lot of value for the show. If you liked the show, if it spoke to your heart, please write a review, and we can get the message out to more and more parents. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.